Actually, over 30 languages and 80 dialects spoken. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to have our first speaker. She is a mom in the workers' struggle, a good friend of mine. Please welcome Sandra Carrillo.
Hello, my name is Sandra Galindo. Mother of 3 daughters, and I'm starting my third semester of my master's degree in human services. I work here at City Heights. I work at City Heights as a tumbling instructor at Mid-City Gym, but I also only have 2 days to work for the many things I have to pay. A few weeks ago, I worked in a temporary position for SEIU. That allowed me to meet a lot of incredible people from City Heights. City Heights is the home of many migrants and families who ask for political asylum, and they are refugees because they fled their violence in their countries after CAFTA and NAFTA, right? I have access to those voices who told me about their stories of survival. Many of them have many of us have suffered, but many don't share because they are afraid or because they are in fear, right? Many of them are undocumented. All these problems are because of the lack of money, because the money we're making right now is not enough. The people that I interview speak the language of hopelessness, of poverty. Really, many of the people I interview, they were exhausted, they were tired of living in this poverty. They were telling me that they were not enjoying life. We are not enjoying raising our children because we have a lack of many things. We work as machines, but we owe everything, even when we are working 2 to 3 job shifts each day. And we still are forced to decide what we can pay. Sometimes we don't have enough. Especially us as Latinos, like minorities, we are in desventaja, a disadvantage, because many of us are also prosecuted because we don't have documents. So in our back we have even more problems because we are thinking every day that fear and that we are worried that we may be separated from our families. We are worried that the migra nos agarre or police abuses us like we have seen lately, right? Right. ¿Cómo se ha criminalizado la pobreza? We don't want to depend on welfare benefits like many parents like me do. We only want better jobs, better well-paid jobs. We have the right to live a day without so many economic pressure. Enjoy the work, the product of our tough and hard work we do every day. 80% of the people who live here at City Heights earn less than $12.50 an hour. So most of us live in poverty. One of my professors used to tell me that, Bill Oswald, that the benefits for low-income people comes with stigma, and we feel guilty, right? And benefits for people with power are stigma-free, and they're taken for granted. So today, that's why I'm here. I'm here fighting for $15 an hour as a minimum wage in San Diego, because there's no other way to get out of this dependency on welfare. We need to end this cycle of poverty. Our low wages are making us each day poorer and poorer. Everything's going up, but our salaries continue the same. We owe a lot to the banks. There's no way we can make it, having only one job. We need to have 2 or 3. And we know that the less we make, the more these companies that are paying us pennies are making in profits. So I'm here today because we are tired to live in poverty. We are tired to live with insecurity. This is only my testimony. Can you imagine the testimony of all the people who live here at City Heights? The people who is undocumented and it doesn't have a voice. So can you imagine their experiences that they have? So I'm here today to ask you to join this opportunity, this movement, to make a better living. We are here because we have the right to ask for justice for our families, for our people. This is only the beginning. We only fighting together. We are gonna be able to give a life with dignity for our children. And I need to ask Mr. Todd Gloria that if you think you are the leader of this movement, you cannot sell us so easily. You need to understand that we won't accept less than $15 an hour with people with or without documents and the right to have a union.
wage. And they also can't afford their housing. Now these people are on the streets, they're vulnerable to police brutality, which it creates a vicious cycle where they're not able to get out of. All because they work full-time jobs, part-time jobs, and they can't afford a home of their own. We say enough. Everybody deserves to live with dignity. We need 15 for all.
Say enough.
So our next speaker is with the Coalition for Community and Labor Solidarity. One of the organizers of this event, please welcome Jordan Mills.
Hey, all right, fellow workers, how's it going this afternoon? You know, it is a profoundly beautiful thing that we have come here in City Heights as part of a worldwide movement in dozens of countries, in hundreds of cities and communities that are demanding a living wage and to be treated with basic respect. We're part of that, and we're part of a larger organization that's moving to make this world a better place, and it's great that it's happening on the world level as well as the national level. But here in San Diego as well, here in City Heights as well, we can find that movement expressed in local organizations that are working hard to prevent reprisals against local working people, that are working hard against low wages in San Diego and in Tijuana and in the area as a whole, that we work together to stop this. And I come representing a group called the Coalition for Labor Community Solidarity that is working as part of the fight for 15 for workers' dignity and workers' rights in San Diego, as well as a bigger movement throughout the country and world. And I wanted to talk about three things that are in our name and how the fight for 15 is key to those three things: labor, community, and solidarity.
Yes.
Look, there are people in this country at the top of the economic pyramid who are trying to turn most jobs in the United States into low-wage labor. And there is nothing I appreciate more than the courage of the fast food workers who have stepped out today all across the country to call for a $15 minimum wage. And those workers are not just fighting for themselves. Retail workers, fast food workers, taxi drivers, adjunct professors, temps, people who have been relegated to being contract workers instead of wage workers have all seen themselves drop below a living wage. And the struggle for $15 an hour is a struggle for unity for all of those people. And it helps working people across the country, even people who aren't working in fast food. So we need to celebrate that. We need to stand up for all the people who had decent living wages before and are now below that threshold. And let me tell you, if you're not getting a decent living wage, you're getting an indecent wage, one that's not enough to keep you going. And we at the CLCS believe it's time to form a fighting labor movement that stands up for those of us making the least, that stands up for those of us being the most exploited, and are willing to take a stand to make this fight for 15 happen and a $15 minimum wage happen. A fighting labor movement's key to that. But it's not just about labor. It's also about the community. As we've seen in one of the most diverse communities in the United States here in City Heights, we are at the intersection of many types of oppression. People who find themselves oppressed because of gender or nationality or language or legal status or sexuality. Those people tend to be focused and marginalized in the economy as well. And a fight for a $15 minimum wage and a living wage and the fight to form a union is a way to unravel that tapestry of oppression, to hit it at its weak point, so we can all get together and fight for what we need as a people, as well as people suffering individual forms of oppression. So we want to bring together labor and the community to work in solidarity against these problems. And so the final word I want to talk about is solidarity. It's amazing that we're all out today, and it's great that we're going to get in this bus and we're going to be part of something bigger than we are that's moving for a $15 minimum wage. But if you're interested in more local activism as well, the Coalition for Labor Community Solidarity meets on Tuesdays at the Interface Council for Workers' Justice on 30th Street, and this fall we're putting together a program, a series of lectures and a get-together where the labor and community organizations can discuss fighting poverty in San Diego. And if we can get something out of this where we're continuing to move forward, continuing to work with organizations, we can end poverty in San Diego. So we extend a fist and salute for those who are on strike throughout the country, for those who are standing in solidarity for them, and we demand a $15 minimum wage and a living wage for all. Yeah.